Okay, here we are with another edition of Ignite Your Ultimate Success podcast. And today I am joined with a very special guest, Mr. Oh, shit, what's your name again?
I actually forgot as well now.
Shit. No.
No one important.
Very funny.
Very good.
Very funny.
Very good.
No, but Mr. Brad Davis. Now, look, stop laughing at him. A bit of background about Brad before we get stuck into it. Owner of BDPT and Base Gym over in Mandurah, WA.
Basement gym, that's the one.
Basement Gym, what did I say?
Base gym.
Base, that's another gym altogether. This is starting off so well. No, you want to have anyway. Longest interview ever. And it's with great pleasure that we have Brad on. And one thing we like to do is get success stories. People who are in their industry, they're inspiring, they've come through and they've achieved really outstanding results. And it's one thing that's really important, rather than just hearing it from Brad Shepherd and myself. We definitely like to get the guests on and look a little bit of background about Brad before he gets into it and tells a story. Runs a very successful personal training business, and again has the gym. And what you'll uncover as we get stuck in it today is there's going to be a wealth of experience, wealth of knowledge. The other cool thing is that over the last couple of years, Brad's also joined the Trainer HQ team and is now coaching for us as well, and just having a massive impact. Also took out our Entrepreneur of the Year and also Master Coach of the Year. So we're in good hands today. So firstly, mate, welcome.
Thank you. What an opening. What an entrance.
I know we got there in the end, So, but mate, to start with, I guess, most interviews start with a bit of background, where you're from, but I'm sure you were born at some point and you grew up and look, this didn't just happen. 18 years later, here you are. but more importantly, what I like to do is say, tell us about your progression and your journey into the fitness industry. So how did it come about and what was the starting point for you?
So into the fitness industry, so I actually, out of school, had a couple of jobs here and there and actually got stuck into a trade. So I got my trade certificate, did my apprenticeship. I was a ceiling fixer, for those of you who know much about trades. Ceiling fixer, and I actually, after my apprenticeship, got stuck into business. I actually ran a ceiling business for about 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, right.
So learnt about business through that, period of my life and my career in the trade industry. But waking up to that every day, I didn't have the burning passion. I didn't have that desire. I knew that there was something missing. I knew there was something bigger for me. So it was great. I learned a lot, and I look back on those days and I'm so grateful for those days because as I said, I knew that there was something else. I knew there's something bigger. So when I entered the fitness industry, I was always into sport, always into outdoors, always into helping people as well. So when I discovered about the fitness industry, about personal training, I was very interested, and it kind of started from there. Started from making that decision from the trade industry to get into the fitness industry. Once I made that decision, actioned it, and never looked back since.
So what was the first step? So you obviously got qualified, hopefully, and then you
qualified.
What was that progression? Because you're running your own business. Was there a transfer period where you were doing your business still and PT part time? How did that happen?
That is correct. So the ceiling business, I actually had a couple of teams that were working for me in the ceiling trade industry, and I used to come up and do my Cert 3 and 4 studies on a Friday. So Friday, Saturday. So I'd work from Monday through Thursday, and then I would knock off Thursday afternoon, drive straight up to Perth. I lived down south in Busselton, which is about 3 hours south of Perth. So a bit of a trek to get myself up to Perth, but then I would study there on the Friday and the Saturday.
Okay, so 3 hours to drive there to do the study and...
Correct, yeah. Stayed there for the Friday night, did my studies Friday, Saturday, got qualified in Cert 3 and 4 in fitness. So that was the transition period. From that point, once I got my certification, I just made the decision to exit the trade industry, live off my savings, and just start a career as a personal trainer.
So where did you start that? So how did you, mobile, outdoor, where did you start?
Started very first on a school oval outdoors, and then got a job as a personal trainer in a gym, in a Jets, a very small Jets. Yeah, I love it. I absolutely loved it in Busselton. And so that was the first gym I worked out of.
And what were the immediate challenges, if anything, that you witnessed? Because you come from another industry, a trade, you were running a business. So, but what did you find that was a challenge when you first started then?
It's a really good question. I've been asked this question before because I enjoyed it so much. I don't know if challenges are the right word to describe it. I saw an opportunity and I took it.
Yep.
There were a couple of things like money. Obviously, I didn't have a whole lot of money at that stage. So when I was entering a job where I wasn't getting paid a wage as such, per 30, 40 hours, I had to actually go out and create my own business. That was probably the biggest form of resistance, challenge, I suppose. Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe not challenge. Was there anything surprising about, entering in the fitness industry? Anything that you weren't, maybe you weren't expecting that popped up?
Yeah. So just even though I had run a business for 7 years, it's totally different. I had a lot of work. So entering the fitness industry, you don't have any work, right? You don't have any clients given to you as such. So that was a part that I found very interesting, and I probably didn't expect once I got Cert 3 and 4 qualified.
So you're at Jets. Did you build up to a certain amount of sessions, and what took place next?
Only started at Jets and then continued there for about 2 or 3 months, and then actually moved up to Mandurah, so about 2 hours north, just to be closer to family. And once I was kind of, based in Mandurah, got myself into a gym there. And to answer your questions, over the next kind of 6 to 12 months, it was just about booking myself out. I just wanted to get to 30, 35, 40 sessions and was successful in doing that.
That's how you built up to that many?
Built up to that many in the first 12 months, yeah.
And I mean, for anybody watching or listening in, they might be starting out. I guess this is going to be a similar type of process. You're working out of a commercial gym. What were your ways to get these clients? Because that's what people always ask us, well, how do you get clients and how do I find clients? What was your approach when you started?
My approach, I wasn't big on social media. I was actually quite inexperienced at social media. So my approach was, okay, I need to be there. I need to actually be in the gym in front of people, talking to people. So I remember just taking my laptop into the cafe. There was a cafe in this particular gym where I started, and I would just sit there in my personal trainer's shirt. I would just say hello to people. I would talk to them. I would ask them questions. What goals are they chasing? What are they doing on the weekend? I would just like to strike up conversation. Then for the people that, and a lot of people would resonate with this, the people that walk in the gym and just go straight to the treadmill, their safety, and just stay there and don't really touch the weights. I used to start talking to those people and just see if I could do anything to help. Yeah. Just put on the boxing gloves and the mitts and say, hey, do you want to jump in the boxing ring and, I'll hold the pads for you and go a couple of rounds. A little bit more interesting, in my opinion, than walking on a treadmill for 2 hours.
It's already, I think a significant point is, what I heard was that you were putting yourself in positions to have conversations with people. 100%. Which then, you were asking questions, and those people who ask questions are always in control of a conversation to build some connection, relationships, to then have opportunities to potentially have them as clients, right?
Yeah.
One thing that I'll just pause, and I guess good to have context around, was how long ago is this? You say social media. When I started, which we won't go into how long ago, it was over 20 years, there was no thing of social media. So how long ago did you start? Because we missed that part. So
2014, 2015.
Okay, so 2014, 2015, social media was well and truly in.
Yep.
So you built up, that's the way you started to get clients. Yep. And what did you notice? So did you notice that process? It was just because you had the ability to naturally talk to people? Did you done sales training at this point? What were some of the things that I guess you contribute to getting those sessions?
Yeah, no sales training, no training whatsoever. So I was just, walking blind, so to speak. Yep. And I guess it wasn't really such a comfortable thing for me at that stage. I just moved into town. I didn't know anybody. Didn't have any friends. I had my family. And so it was all very new. And I remember being in there and walking in there each morning, just going, righto, let's do it again. And just kind of giving myself that pep talk. And once I got in there, you switch on and you're sweet. But my intention for the first week or two was just to build relationships, just at the first level, not to try to sell them anything, not to do anything outstanding in the first couple of weeks, just to get myself comfortable and just to be there and get my face out there and start to get comfortable with myself being there and talking to people.
At what point then did you think to yourself, because so no sales training, when did you think, well, hey, there's something else to this business that I've got to get, I guess, good at? When did you actually go, look, I need to start educating myself in some of the other areas? Because personal training is the thing you study, and we study. The one part is that we've got to realise we're in a business. So when did that process take? When you said, "Look, I'll start to learn how to market or sale," or when did that occur?
When the grey hairs started popping out of my eyebrows and I started losing hair and the wrinkles appeared on the forehead, so I got myself to a position where I was doing about 60 sessions a week, and I was
30 minutes, half hour?
A mixture. I had some semi-privates, I had half hour, 45, 60, I had some group sessions, mixed. I had boot camps, I had everything. But no systems, right?
Yeah,
just doing just a yes man, just going for it. So, and I was enjoying it, but they got to a point where you guys think I'm joking about the grey hairs. I'm not joking. So I got myself to a point where it was really not becoming enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of fitness professionals out there will relate to this stuff. So got myself into a position where I was just tired and burnt out. I wasn't enjoying it as much as I wanted to when I first got into the industry, because that's why I changed industries, right? I was passionate about the fitness industry. So I was at a position where I was turning over good money, but something had to give. I was at a T-junction. I had to choose left or right. Left was exit the industry because I cannot live like this. It got to quite a substantial point. Or turn right and actually find myself a coach and start getting some guidance and learning about the things that I don't know about. I didn't know about lead gen. I didn't know about sales. I didn't know about client retention. I didn't know about pricing structure. I didn't know about any of that.
Yeah, there's so much to get your head around, right? And even if you've been in business for a while, you can still be flying blind, hoping that it all works out. So what was the next stage? And I know we've chatted about it, and did you start to explore like coaches, all that stuff? And it'd be good to tell the story about how you met us. How'd you come across us?
Yeah, so I was single at the time, and I actually was dating a female, and she had a book. She had a book on in her house.
Yeah.
So when I saw the book, I kind of asked the question, who are those guys and what's this all about? And got into your book, and not much of a reader, so I actually didn't finish the book, but I saw it, and that was enough to get me on your social media pages, and then started watching your content on social media. And one day, I something had to change. As I was saying before, I wasn't enjoying it. Something had to give, right? So I just got in contact and basically just started the conversation. I think I got a hold of B-Rad first, and I think he probably had about 3 or 4 phone conversations with me before I decided to commit and take that next step. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So had she read the book? Do you know?
Mate, I don't know. Yeah, not sure. It was there by a bedside table, so I'm not sure she read it, mate. But I know that she actually did some stuff with you guys before, and also loved it as well. So
yeah, and so at that part, then was it? Had you been in the industry for a year at that stage, or what?
Yeah, this is probably moving forward to about 2016, 2017.
Yeah. Okay. So that took place. What's the next stage? You went from everything you just described. You go, right, got to get some better solutions, better structure, all that stuff. What was the next journey like? So from that starting to like, I want to make this a real go. What was the next phase for you, I guess, over the next couple of years?
Yeah, so the next couple of years in a nutshell was I got given a coach, started implementing systems, structures, methodologies, procedures into my business so that it was doing exactly the same as what I was doing when I was working full-time in it, but I didn't need to invest all those hours per week.
Yep.
So I started to enjoy it again, right? And in that, we actually started to build a team of trainers as well.
Yep.
So that we could do more than what I could ever do by myself. Trust me, I tried to do everything.
Yep.
It got to a point where I just started breaking down. So we actually started building a team, putting trainers in position so they could go out and start running their businesses and within kind of snapshot towards the end, we were doing well over 100 sessions. And I'd actually, kind of outgrown the gym that I was in and actually moved into another gym. So over the next 2 years, I was actually working out of 2 gyms.
Yep.
I had 7 coaches.
Yes. Yep.
Doing all the sessions.
Yep.
I was still doing about 10 sessions a week because I enjoy it, right? That's the reason why I got into it. So that was the next phase in a snapshot, yeah.
So snapshot, but you're at a gym and the 7 trainers, was that when you had basement or was that prior to that?
Before that. So I was working at a gym in Mandurah, and then it was called Body Appeal Gym. I first started there, had a team of 3 or 4 trainers. As I said, it kind of hit a glass ceiling, and I had a bit of an opportunity, came up with a bit of a proposal, pitched it to an Anytime Fitness gym.
Yep.
the owner jumped at it, and then I was able to start building a team of trainers out of that gym as well.
And do you think because for most a lot of trainers that we deal with, they might be solo and they might stay that way the whole fitness career, or they've got the aspirations to build a business like you have, and that can be a daunting thing. Do you think that because you had built a team in your previous business that helped? Did you find it was different, or I guess what I'm looking for is what was your driving factor to go, I don't want to just be a solo independent PT. I actually would like to build a team. What triggered that, or what made you decide that?
I actually didn't want to build a team.
Okay.
I had what I could view as negative experiences in the trade industry about having team members that were unreliable, not doing their work exactly how I wanted it done, the level of quality dropping. And so B-Rad actually mentioned it to me, and I was like, nah, I'm not keen to go down that path again. So I was actually quite closed-minded about the idea. And so it actually, it's quite funny how it started, because I wasn't open to it at the start. And as I said, I got to a position where, we had detailed discussions about it, and we highlighted the pros, highlighted the cons, and it became a very simple decision for me to know that was the next step. That's where I needed to go for the business to keep growing.
We literally just, Brad and I did a podcast just earlier today, and that's one of the things that popped up, that, a lot of people's perception, and, when they think about hiring a team, it's like can't find good people and all the rest of it. So it can have that connotation, but it looks like you were closed off to it because of that experience in the past. Correct, and, lucky you were then open, you changed your mind on it because it's made a big difference, right? What now, like if you look at the current situation of the way your business runs now, so I guess we've had the beginning, how you got into the industry.
Yep.
We've talked about you have to educate yourself more in the business structure, the sales, the marketing, the whole bit. From that, the opportunity was there to hire PTs, which you've done.
Yeah.
I guess that's that part there. I think the key part, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that you just realised that, you needed to get the education support and the business side of things. What did that then equal? Like, what does that mean for you today? So just tell everyone watching, like, how does the business currently operate now, and what time frame are we talking? So from when you started to now, and the current way the business operates, what's that time frame, and how is the business running now?
So business is running now. I've got my own facility. I've actually sold 50% of that fitness business to my co-director, who's excellent. She's awesome. And that we've got 6 or 7 trainers working out of that facility.
Yes.
And we've actually gone to other facilities as well, because we find that a lot of gyms, not just in WA where I'm from, but around Australia, having PTs that stay there long term. So we actually, just decided to solve that problem that they were experiencing and put our coaches in those gyms as well. So that's the way the business is operating now. We're pumping out a whole heap of sessions per week, not just at my gym, but at other gyms as well.
Yep.
The coaches have an opportunity to grow their businesses and enjoy their time in the fitness industry. And so that's the way that my business is currently running now. And the time frame is, I started in 2014. It's now 2021, and I have very little to do with my gym or fitness business. I coach my coaches. It's awesome to see them grow, succeed. They're always asking questions. We've got great communication. So I enjoy communicating with them and helping them on whatever I need. But realistically, I don't need to touch that business.
It's amazing. So what? How many sessions and all? How does it run now? You're doing so many sessions per week as a team, as a business. On average, what gets conducted?
Yeah, correct. So I know at our peak we were doing well over kind of 120, 130 sessions per week. And COVID obviously has played a part in that. We were able to pivot quite well online or outdoor training when we were allowed, but following the rules, we're doing still averaging probably about that 100, 110.
Yeah.
It's working smooth. Everyone's enjoying it. Yeah. The business model is, everything's in place. The systems are in place, and the way I like to describe it when I'm explaining it, it's just a well-oiled machine. It just keeps working. It keeps running. The right people in the right positions, the right systems in the right places, and it's it's enjoyable to be a part of.
Such a important thing, the right people and knowing how to hire the right people and manage the right people.
Yeah, agreed.
Is all the benefits. But hang on, you're over here in Queensland. You're now living up the Sunshine Coast.
Correct.
Originally just moved. How does that happen? Because you're back in WA, your business. You've got all 9 trainers. You've got your own facility, plus running PTs at another couple of facilities. But you're over here. Like, how is that possible?
Yeah, well, a question that I would have loved an answer to when I first got started, but I looked through the journey, and it's the best way I can explain it is get yourself the right guidance, get yourself the right support, the right people in the right places, implement the correct systems, and it is like a well-oiled machine. You do not need to touch it. Everybody knows what they need to be doing. Everyone's enjoying it. That business is not only continuously working, but it's growing as well. Yeah. And now I'm over here trying to surround myself with the people that bring the best out in me and that push me to go further. And for me, that's getting closer to yourself and BRAD, and just continuous learning and growth on my behalf, so that I can be a better coach for my Trainer HQ clients, so that I can coach my team BDPT coaches even more, and even my co-director, because me learning and then passing down my learning and growth and developments down the chain, that's the best way that we found. And it's a really enjoyable thing to do.
Even though you started in 2014 and it's now 2021, my experience of what I've seen, like that growth, like a lot of things, right? You do the work, the time that you spend the work in then equals a lot of success. I mean, it's really been the last 3 or 4 years that business has taken off, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, it really has. I look back on the last 3 or 4 years, and there was a moment where I could really give this a crack, or I could stay where I was. But I knew if I made the decision and got the coaching and got my own facility, that I was in it, right? You get one crack at life, and I'm this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to absolutely give it everything I possibly got. So that, not that I was thinking this too much, but looking back on it, so that if it didn't succeed to its best potential, I know that I gave it everything I got, right? So I went into it and I had that moment, and I made my decision, and I haven't looked back. It's just been constant development, growth, surrounding yourself with the right people, and just enjoying it. You know? Just enjoying it. I find that just something that I've forgotten it. I had my portion of my fitness career where I stopped enjoying it. I forgot what was important to me, but I found as that came back, everything started working very smooth. Yeah,
what I love about what we've covered off on so far is the fact that what's possible. So for us, at Trainer HQ and the people that we've been involved with, it's showing other people that have been in the industry for a while and think that there's no other opportunities, or they're stagnant, or they're stuck, or they've hit a ceiling, or they're coming into the industry, that anything is possible with the key ingredients that you mentioned. Educating yourself, getting yourself the right mindset, surrounding yourself with the right people,
big one, yeah,
and having a clear understanding about what you want out of this business. I guess so many people start businesses just with a hope plan and hope it all turns out, and of course, when you don't really have any central direction and purpose, then it can get tough and challenging and stale and all the rest of it, because you don't really know where you're heading with it, other than just turning up day to day doing the work. So here's an example. You're now over the East Coast, and you're, for all the reasons that you said, you don't have to step foot into your facility or your business.
Yep.
You have your connections with your trainers and your team and meetings. For anyone watching, I just think for me, that's what a business is, the fact that you don't actually need to be there and that it runs with or without you. So if you're watching it, you go, like, I'd love the idea of that, then it's possible for them as well. Now, that part, I hope everyone's watching this go, like, I've got a clear idea. Your start journey, where you are now, running a highly successful business that you don't have to be involved in, in terms of turning up physically.
Yeah.
How has it changed you? So, and I'll clarify this. How has it made life? And sometimes this can be a tricky question, but how has becoming more successful actually become harder? So how has actually getting success? How in some cases it made life more challenging or harder to some degree?
It's an interesting question. I don't I don't look at it as harder. I look at it as, I've probably got more responsibility. I've probably, things haven't been easy in the past, but it's through those challenging times where you actually learn.
Yeah.
It's through those challenging times where you actually grow and you get given that opportunity to sink or swim. And so, everyone's faced with resistance or challenging times or hard times or whatever you want to put it. But, and another portion of my answer here is, the business growth and the success is great, and I'll continue doing that just because I love it, right? And I love having the impact on multiple people in a positive way. But on the flip, for me, and I'm not sure if obsessed is the right word here, but what I really love and what gets me out of bed every morning is who I'm becoming in the process.
Yeah.
So the business is doing great, finances are great. I've got the ability to now move over to the Sunshine Coast and just basically live the dream over here. But it's the person who I've become. So I'm not saying I'm the best person out there, but I'm saying that I've learnt, I've grown, I've challenged myself, and I continuously do things that I enjoy doing. And that for me is success. That's what I've really valued and what I've really enjoyed about this journey. And it's not stopping here either.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was looking for in terms of there is more responsibility. There's more things, more people that may rely on you, but at the same token, the reward for being in that position is tenfold as well. So I guess we go there now and go, well, what's the, you probably already answered actually in all the things that you said. It's becoming the person you are now. Because if I went to somebody over in Perth, South Australia, whatever, and said, right, in 3 years' time, the goal is for you to be in Queensland or Sunshine Coast, Gold Coast, have your business with a team all running perfectly, your income has actually increased and you don't actually have to be there. Well, we're telling you can't be there. Most people have a panic attack, freak out. You're going, what?
Yeah.
In 3 years. So again, it's a great testament to yourself. And I like that analogy of it's who you become in the process. I'm a big fan on that, because without those goals or things you're striving towards, you can just stay the same version. I hear a lot of people saying this is what they want, but a lot of people aren't prepared to do what it takes to get it.
It's something, sorry to chime in there, big fella. It's something that I actually learned under, so I did coaching for you guys out there. I did coaching with Jays for 12 months. It was extensive. It was great, just high quality and just into it, in-depth coaching. And through that time, the business grew, right? And obviously that's what I got a coach for, because I thought I wanted the business to grow, and I did to a certain a certain portion. But what I got out of coaching with the big fella was exactly that, the person who I became in the process. And it's quite funny because I hired, I suppose, or got into Trainer HQ and yourself for business growth. But, mate, I learned so much about myself. Yep. I became a better person. I have better personal relationships. I'm able to have a little bit more emotional intelligence and get more out of my life. And I've got the opportunity. I'm very fortunate to have the opportunity to speak with fitness professionals, and I did some talks around Perth. Looking to do the same thing over in Queensland, and I get to stand up and I get to talk about it's the person who you become in the process, what you taught me, right? And with these guys, the way I explain it is, if you turn over 10,000 a week, but you're a massive dick and you're hating it, that's not fucking success, right? It's about enjoying the process.
Unless you love dick. I mean, it's not love dick, unless you love being a dick. Sorry, that was slipped out. Oh, here we go again.
It's about who you become in the journey, who you become in the process. So if you're a happier version of yourself, you're a healthier version of yourself, if you're impacting people on a benefit almost every day and you're loving every second of it, that to me is success, right? Like, the money is great, the cars are great, the holidays are great. That's great. But on the flip, if you're able to get out of bed and enjoy every day, that to me is success.
Yeah. So now, you've been, you're in the position now where you're also giving back. You're doing work for us. You have a lot of clients, and you have been for the last few years. What are some of the things that you've noticed as now you're in a coaching role and you're helping others in their journey? What are some of the, I guess, key things that you coach people on? There's obviously the business, the skill set, but what are some of the key things that you've found as you're now entered in the coaching arena that you're helping people with? Common things that you find that you think make a big difference and make someone, I guess, to achieve the goals that they want to achieve.
Yeah. Systems.
Yep. So systems.
Yep. So for example, those systems are so important. Just lead gen systems, multiple lead gen systems that bring you in leads.
Yeah.
You know, that itself is such an important system. Sales systems. So when those leads come in, you can sell people into your business. I had none of this. Yeah. Pricing guides, structures, you know, client retention. Why look for new clients when you can keep your existing clients and take extra special care of them? All the internal business structures and systems that need to be there. I explain it to my clients like a concrete slab. Probably my trade business coming back to haunt me as a concrete slab, and implementing those systems and having a coach to guide you through that is like the foundation. It's like the concrete slab. So whatever you build on top of that is going to be rock solid.
Yeah, right.
If you don't have those systems in place, you don't have the concrete slab. Try to build a house on a sand pit, ain't going to work.
It's going to be a bit challenging.
It's going to be very challenging, and it ain't going to last long.
How much, because you can have two clients, right? You're giving them the same amount of attention, focus, energy, input, knowledge, experience, and one seems to hit the ground running and does exceptionally well, and someone else doesn't. How much does mindset play a part in someone's success?
Yeah. It plays a massive part.
Yeah. Because you've got all those systems, and I know all that. I've got all that part, but and structure, and so then what's your experience with coaching people that make it? What do they have in common? How do they think? How do they act? What's the common traits? Because they're traits, right? Like you can learn traits and habits. So what have you noticed that makes someone a successful individual?
Yeah, my clients that are open-minded.
Yep.
That are coachable, that are willing to learn, they're the clients that actually receive the information, and then that's half of it, right? The other half is being able to action it. So if you've read every book in the world, and I know you've got a favorite saying here, but if you read every book in the world but you don't action any of the content that you read, it's you're probably just as well off as someone who hasn't read any books whatsoever, right? So to answer your question again, that the first half of it is just being open-minded, being coachable, knowing that you've got the right person in your corner to help you and assist you and guide you and support you through that journey. And then the second half of it is actioning. Action, actually being able to put that stuff into your business and pull it off. Yeah,
it's so true. And I guess as coaches in the fitness industry as well, it's the same thing to apply, right? There's some people that, they get the same as the next person. Some people they don't lose the weight, they don't get the results, full of excuses, self-sabotage the whole bit, and as a result, they don't get any results. So mindset plays such a big part of it. Yeah, how much do you invest in that part of, I guess what people would refer to as personal development or mindset, emotional intelligence? How much of your success, was it an equal amount that you invest in, that you do daily? What do you do to make sure that you're always developing as a person?
Yeah, it's such a good question. Two parts to this. I don't know why, but I'm answering everything in two parts today. The first part is I look back through my journey and I think that, as I said before, I teamed up with Trainer HQ to get business growth. I wanted more money. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I wanted more money, right?
If you're in business, you're not. I don't know what you're doing in business for.
That's what I wanted. I wanted more money and live financially free so I could do whatever I want, holiday where I want, support my family when I have a family, all that stuff, right? But I look back and I wanted business growth, but I got an equal portion of personal development and an equal portion of emotional intelligence, right? And that was almost the more enjoyable piece for me. Like the turnover went up, right, and that's all good. But again, personal development, emotional intelligence, that's for me, that's the person that I became. I grew more in that area. And the second portion of it is, I forgot where I was going now. Totally blank.
So daily, then.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What do you do on a daily process to
I still treat this so important in my day-to-day life. It is, to be honest with you, I probably invest more time and energy and mental focus into the personal development, emotional intelligence side of things. So every morning I've got a morning routine. And that's 3 hours to myself before I even pick up my phone, before I talk to any clients, before I do anything. And it's all about, there's a few analogies going around, and it's fill your cup and recharge your batteries. And I enjoy saying that stuff as well. But it's to be able to give the best version of myself, to fill your cup. You've got to fill your cup first to be able to pour into anybody else's.
Yeah.
So that 3 hours in the morning is for me, and it's about to get me in the most, I call it, successful state of mind so that I can give my best to my coaching clients. I can give my best to the boys. I can give my best to my gym and all my coaches. That's so a very, very high importance. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, emotional intelligence plays a big part, right? Because at the end of the day, you might have a goal or target, but if you got fear, doubt, that's fine. But if you don't know what to do with it, and then you keep pushing those goals away because of the fear of failure, fear of maybe even success, fear of, I'm good enough, can't do it, well, then those opportunities go amiss, right? Lastly, well, not lastly, but I guess if you were to break down, say, your top list of someone who's watching this going, look, I am stuck a little bit, and I know I've got more in me. I know I can do better. Any recommendations, things that maybe you've found that's worked, that you see your clients or you recommend, but you're watching, someone's watching this and going, look, I'm not sure. I feel just a bit stuck and where I can go next. What would some of your advice be to someone, in that position?
Yeah, ask for help. Reach out to people, and the fitness industry I found it's a great industry. People are supportive in the fitness industry.
Yeah.
And, ask for help. I was in that position where it was my business. I thought I needed to do it myself, right? Now I own this business. It's my name. I need to do all this all myself, where I look back on that now and I just couldn't disagree with that mindset that I was in at the early stages of my career. Ask for help. The more I asked for help, the more people I spoke to about it. It led me in the direction of meeting Trainer HQ and meeting you guys. And that for me is totally changed my life. So it started with me asking for help. So that is probably the best way I can answer your question. Just ask for help. There's no point being too proud. There's people out there that actually enjoy and love supporting, educating and guiding people to build their business. Yeah. And it's if you get the right people, this is the other thing, if you get the right people in your corner, it is way more enjoyable. Doing business can be quite a lonely place. If you make it that way for yourself, because it's your choice, right? I am just so fortunate and grateful that I chose to ask for help, get pushed in the direction of Trainer HQ, Create PT Wealth at the time, Trainer HQ now, and I've never looked back.
I love it. It's simple, but it is, and it's something that I can relate to. And as a young male, when I was stuck and anxiety, depression, all the rest of that stage, my biggest challenge was asking for help, and that's what helped me back. So it's great advice, and something that we always sign off when we're on our Facebook Lives and all that stuff is just going, look, if you're sitting there and you're not sure what to do, how to do it, you're stuck, just ask for help.
Yeah.
It's not about, do I do anything with this company or not? It's just about simply taking that step. So I couldn't agree more. That advice is just so critical and so important. So
one thing in additional to that as well is just be mindful who you're asking to help you. So everybody loves to give their 2 cents an opinion, and a lot of the time it's useful in one way or another, right? But if someone is out there doing it or have done it themselves, they're the people to ask for help, and a lot of the time they're more than happy to do it as well.
Yeah, it's so true. And look, in a day and age where I think now, like when we started Trainer HQ back in 2008, and I was coaching prior to that, to starting this company, there was next to nothing really. I think we were on the first to be doing it. Not only in Australia but worldwide, but now there's a lot of information out there. Do you think sometimes that it can be, for people, it can be overwhelming to go, well, like what we used to get is there actually coaching for the fitness industry, where now it's like another one. What are some of your tips if you are going to look for help? Have you anything that you think would be good for someone to know? Like, say, hey, look, before you just see their Facebook ads and the next guru, any advice that you would give to help make that decision?
Yeah, I can only go to my personal experience, and what I did is I spent a bit of time looking, and then I had several conversations with those coaches or those professionals or just people who wanted to help, right? And as I said before at the start of this podcast, like I would have had 3 or 4 half-hour conversations with BRAD. I had questions that I wanted to ask, and the answers that I got, that pushed me in the direction to make my decision. So a few different people that I wanted to ask questions. So spend the time. Spend the time and know exactly what you're looking for. Have a clear idea of what you want to achieve as well. It doesn't have to be crystal clear, but just have a bit of an idea of where you want this to go, and they're the questions that you want to be asking the coach. And a coach that is passionate and genuinely wanting to help will find it very easy to answer those questions, and you'll get that vibe from them as well, right? Like, you know, we're all personal trainers, we're all people's people, and we will be able to pick up if these people actually want to genuinely help us.
Yeah, I agree. What I've loved about today is, you know, again, and you know, there's so much out there about, you know, we didn't touch into, you know, the money you're making. Obviously, there's the success you've had, but what I love about today is it's just a raw and honest conversation about what it takes to be successful, the possibilities, the options that are available, what you can achieve. But I like the big part is a lot of it just comes back down to, again, like that emotional intelligence, that desire and willingness to want to be successful, and, you know, have that pursuit to achieve that. So you become, like in your words, like who you become in the process. I know we share a common theme on this, is that, you know, regardless if you make 1 million and you see people going, oh, I've made 2 million. Like for me, all that stuff's great. Like, you know, congrats. But I'm with you. If you become the biggest knob, or you're a thief, or you're a liar, to get there, that's going to be a you know, an empty journey, where that phrase, it's who you become in the process, is so important. And that's what I love about your story and who you have become. And even over the years that I've seen you, I mean, outstanding individual from day one, but who you've grown into and who you continue to develop. Like me and myself, Brad, that's the part that I really love. And when you speak to any of our guys, the money plays a part in it, in terms of that's a measure and a scoreboard of all the work you've done personally and who you become. Because I've never seen a business, if a business is doing 50 grand, I've never seen that business reach 500 grand if they haven't developed and changed themselves, right? They'll only be a certain amount. So,
or if they don't, it'll come tumbling down pretty quick. Yeah.
Correct. You know, like the shape and size of someone's body, the level of health and fitness, the amount of money they got, it's all relatable to what's going on between their ears. So if you are watching this, I mean, for me, the biggest takeaway is you got to do the work. You got to get acknowledged, you know, in business. You got to get the right skill set, the right structure. That they're all fundamentals. But even more importantly is that you got to work on what's going on between your ears and your mindset, 100%. Emotional intelligence, because otherwise it just goes to waste, which, you know, my favourite saying is the Mark Twain one, as you know, and it's like the person who can read but won't is no better off than the person that can't. So, you know, you get all these opportunities in this day and age, and it's only a value if you can get yourself to go and put it into place. So, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on today. And how can people, I guess, follow along? If you've obviously connected with Brad, he's an outstanding individual, no doubt. Like everyone's going, fuck, how do I find out more about it? You know, how can people follow you and tune in to what you're doing on a day-to-day basis?
So Facebook is Brad Davis Personal Trainer, and Instagram is Brad Davis PT, one word.
Yeah, and all you'll see of late is him rubbing in your face what a good lifestyle he has, like up. And I have to look at this shit every day where he's down the beach doing his, you know,
really
walk.
tough, man. It's really tough.
But, you know, it embodies everything that we stand for at Train HQ, is like, you know, build the lifestyle you want, you know, doing what you love, being passionate about it, having more freedom, more helping more people, more profitability. So it's just a perfect representation. So follow Brad again, mate. Great to have you along today. It's been absolutely amazing, and I know the crowd thinks the same way. So, mates,
there you go. It's been a pleasure, big fella. I've loved it. Absolutely love being on here.
All right, mate. So bye for now. I hope you've enjoyed that podcast. Make sure you tune in, subscribe, hit the like buttons, leave comments, ask questions. It all helps to reach a broader audience and help more people. So that's it from us. Bye for now.
Bye.